Hey guys, welcome back to another pickup video, this time for the month of April of 2016. And this time around I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm filming this during the nighttime and I don't have the usual natural light coming in here from the windows, so I apologize if the video looks a little bit dark or a little bit weird, but yeah, it is what it is. So as usual, I'm going to start with the new releases that I picked up during the month of April. And there were a ton of games that I really wanted to get on day one. A lot of high-profile releases such as Dark Souls 3, the new Ratchet & Clank game for the PS4, Star Fox Zero, Bravely Second, Quantum Break for the Xbox One. So I really wanted to get all of those games on day one, but obviously I had to make some choices and sacrifice some of those decisions. So I decided to go with the game that you guys see in the background, obviously, which is Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. Obviously, it came in this little or pretty nice cardboard box, and that's the reason being is the first print run of the game comes with two games actually, which are Star Fox Guard, which is a tower defense type of game, which I haven't played it yet, but it's supposed to be pretty fun. And of course, we have the main game, which is Star Fox Zero, which I've been playing, and as you guys know, Star Fox games are pretty short, so I'm about to already complete the game, even though it's been out for only a couple of days. You know, the single-player campaign takes about 3 to 4 hours. It's a typical Star Fox gameplay with some tacked-on motion control, gyroscope controls that are hit or miss depending on the level, but I will delve more into more detail once I do my impressions video, which it should be coming up pretty soon because, like I said, this is a very short game. And then I'm gonna also play Star Fox Guard and maybe do an impressions video on this as well later down the road. But so far, I'm really enjoying Star Fox Zero. Like I said, it's hit or miss with the controls, but it's basically the true successor to Star Fox 64, which is one of my all-time favorite games. So I'm having a lot of fun with you know, with the way the game is set up, with the gameplay and everything. So pretty happy to have picked this up during the month of April. The next quote-unquote new release is one that came out in late March. I think it came out like at the very end of March, like March 29, I think. And I already filmed my March pickups video, so I couldn't show it there, but I'll include it here among the new pickups for April. And that game is Resident Evil 6, which it's a little bit ironic, I know. This is my least favorite Resident Evil game. For those of you that have followed my channel, when I did my Resident Evil 6 impressions video a couple of years ago, I had a lot of negative things to say about this game, but even then, you know, it was only 20 bucks plus my 20% discount from Best Buy. I decided to get it because I'm a pretty big Resident Evil fan and collector at the same time, so I wouldn't mind actually going through this game. It's a bad Resident Evil game, but it's an okay action game, if that makes any sense. So hopefully I'm gonna find some people that are brave enough to buy this game and, you know, try and do a co-op campaign with them. But yeah, I just had to get it. And this is finally, they have a pretty cool cover compared to the PS3, which only has like the 6 number in it. This is a pretty nice cover, and again, it was a budget release for 20 bucks. I couldn't say no, being a huge Resident Evil fan. So I'll definitely give it a second try, even though I already know what the game is like. I already beat it on the PS3, but I guess happy to have it on my Resident Evil collection. And the last new release that I got was an unexpected one. I came one day from work, and there was a package at the front door, and this is basically what was in my front door. This is pretty heavy. The Bravely Second Collector's Edition. A few months ago, when the pre-orders went live, Leo, the funny nerd, he sent me a message saying, "Hey man, the pre-orders are live. This collector's edition may be kind of rare or maybe limited." So I decided to put a pre-order on this, and then I thought if I want to cancel it, I'm just gonna do it, right before release if I don't feel like getting the collector's edition. And to be honest, I completely forgot. I put the order in. I was gonna cancel it probably if I remembered, because I have the first Bravely default collector's edition, but I haven't played that game yet. So buying the collector's edition for the sequel, it's almost like me assuming that I'm going to enjoy the first game and I'm going to become a fan of the series, which I can't really say for sure because, like I said, I haven't beaten the first game yet. So that's on my to-do list, on my homework list. I have to go back and beat the first game, or try to and beat the first game. If I don't like it, I'm not going to finish it, obviously. But in a way, I'm kind of happy I didn't cancel the pre-order because this comes with a very nice art book, which is full-fledged, tons of pages, and it comes with a soundtrack CD. So again, in a way, I'm pretty happy to have not canceled my pre-order and have this very elegant-looking collector's edition. Which again, hopefully I will enjoy the first game, and then that way I can move on to Bravely Second. So it's supposed to be a very fun game, traditional, system, RPG system. So again, I should definitely delve into the first game, and I took already the case out. That's the Bravely Second regular case, and then the art book it's in there. I'm not gonna take it out. You guys can watch other unboxing videos. But that's it in terms of new releases. I really wanted to get Quantum Break because I haven't given my Xbox One a lot of love, especially with new releases. And but I figured that game is gonna drop down in price like within the next 6 months, pretty quickly. And same thing with Dark Souls 3 and Ratchet and Clank. When Black Friday comes in, those games are gonna be, I'm assuming they're gonna be heavily discounted. So in order to protect my wallet, I decided to hold off for those releases, but I'm very excited to play or to purchase those at one point or another. Now let's continue with some, I guess, accessories. Best Buy was having a sale on controllers, and I got myself the wired fight pad by, what's it called, PvP, I think it's the name of the company. And this is the Legend of Zelda themed GameCube fighting controller, I guess, which is compatible obviously with the Wii U and the regular Wii. Basically this connects in the bottom to the via the nunchuck port, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really need this controller, but I bought it just mainly because I'm a huge Zelda fan, and I already opened this, and it looks pretty nice actually. It has a pretty nice gloss to it with a Tri-Sword symbol in it. It's green on the front, and then in the back it's kind of like a light brown with dark brown here on the shoulder buttons. The truth to be told, I've read reviews for these controllers and they're absolute crap. I've heard they're, and you can kind of feel the build quality is pretty cheap, but they were on sale for $9. So I figured for $9 I'm gonna get myself one of these guys, and I'm a huge Zelda fan. And I'm gonna have it in the background in case my other controllers break and whatnot. So they also had the Silver Mario controller, which I almost bought. It was almost like an impulse buy, but I told myself I should not buy that one. One is enough with the Zelda logo in there. So kind of happy to have this. It looks pretty nice, and like I said, it'll make a backup controller in case I need one. So for $10, a new Wii U fight controller for Smash Brothers. Also continuing with the accessories and whatnot. Some of you guys probably already saw this in my Amiibo display video where I show all the my Amiibo collection, and at the bottom I have some Bioshock figures. And I forgot to mention this in my previous pickup videos, but I decided to pick up the Bouncer Big Daddy from the Funko Pop figures. This is really nice. It's one of the better looking Funko Pop figures. They usually retail for $10, but because this is a larger than usual figure, I think it was a little bit more expensive. It was like $12, $13. But it's well worth it in my opinion. It has a pretty nice build quality, and I love Bioshock, so I just had to get the Big Daddy in there. They also have Bioshock Infinite figures, but since they're human figures, they have one for DeWitt and one for Elizabeth. But all the Funko figures, I hate how they have the big round eyes. It's part of the style of the figures, obviously, but I prefer the non-human figures like the Big Daddy, for example. And in my office, I have a Boba Fett Funko Pop bobblehead, and that one looks nice too because it's not a human face. Obviously, it's Boba Fett with his helmet. So those look nice, and that's why I decided to pick up Big Daddy, the Bouncer here. So Pretty nice piece to have it, and pretty cheap. As far as other games that I got, let's see. I purchased this on Newegg. They were having a promotion. This is 4 games in 1, Star Wars classic games. This is $20 for the voucher, but they give you a rebate card for $20, so it was essentially free. So I said, why not get all the Star Wars games? And out of the 4 of them that are offered here, the only one that I played is Super Star Wars, which is a Super Nintendo release. But all 4 games here have been remastered, and they have trophy support and whatnot. This is for the PS4. And the other games included are Star Wars Razor Revenge, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. And those 3 games that I mentioned, the last 3 games, I don't think I've ever played. I played the pod racing game on the Nintendo 64, so I'm not really sure if that game is the same as this one, because I know this one is for the PS2, so I think they're different games. But regardless, for basically free, $20, but the rebate is $20. I got these 4 digital Star Wars games in my on my PS4 now. Speaking of PS4, another PS4 pickup, another cheap budget release, if you will. Back to the Future, the game. This is by Telltale, which, as we all know, they've done the Walking Dead games, and all the other visual adventure series. And this is another one that came out a few years ago, actually. And this used to be out, I believe, for like the Wii and the PS3, and at one point it became like somewhat of an uncommon game. So I'm really glad it got a re-release or a reprint for the PS4. And it's like $20. If you go to Amazon or GameStop, you can get this for $20. So it's another Telltale game that I will be playing down the road. Probably not before I finish Tales from the Borderlands, which is the current Telltale game that I'm playing. And I also want to play The Wolf Among Us. That's another one that I have for the Vita that it's on my queue list. But I will definitely get to this at one point or another, because I really like the trilogy, the Back to the Future movies. So I'm curious to see what the game is all about. And lastly but not least, a uncommon PS3 game that I saw a couple of YouTubers pick this game up in the previous months. Crack Lotus, Sporadic Spacebar, and it's a game that I was always interested in buying, but I was waiting for it to drop the price, and the game eventually became uncommon, and I was never able to find it for cheap out in the wild. And I'm talking about Africa for the PlayStation 3. It's a safari game where you go out and take pictures. I'm assuming somewhat similar to Pokemon Snap, where you have to take the pictures and then you get points for taking the pictures, and you have different objectives. You have to take pictures of different animals and things like that. And this game was on sale on my GameStop for the longest time. Of course, I'm talking about 2.5 years ago. I think 2.5 or 3 years ago. This game, I remember it was in the used section, and it was on sale for like $17.99. And I kept saying to myself, that game is probably really short. I'm gonna wait until it drops down in price, hopefully to like $10. And then of course the game got sold, and I never saw it again. Until recently, obviously, and they jacked up the price. It used to be, like I said, $17.99, I think, but now it goes for like $24.99 or $29.99. I don't remember how much I paid for this, because I used one of my rewards or certificates from GameStop. And this, it kind of looks shiny, looks nice, but let me tell you guys, this came in the nastiest PS3 case, thankfully I had a spare PS3 case, like an empty one, which I had to swap, but the original case, which in this came in, it was just absolutely nasty. And unfortunately the game came without a manual, just the disc only, which is another, I guess, downside to it. But again, I decided to get this game, and I really want to try it at one point. It's supposed to be a very relaxing game, obviously. Nothing hard about it, no big budgets or anything, no shooting involved or anything like that, as far as I'm concerned. So it should be an interesting game to see what it's all about. So that's Africa for the PlayStation 3. And that's it, guys. I'm trying to think for digital purchases. PlayStation Plus has been dropping the ball a little bit lately. So, but on the other hand, Xbox Gold has been picking up steam, and they offered Sunset Overdrive and Saints Row 4 along with other games in the month of April. And I think, yeah, I bought the Season 2 of Killer Instinct on the Xbox One. That was on sale, so I think a couple of months ago they offered Season 1 for free on the Xbox One, and now I have Season 2, which I bought for like 12 bucks. So now I have both Season 1 and 2 on the Xbox One, and I've been playing a little bit of Killer Instinct, and that game is fantastic. And I know Season 3 is out, so hopefully that goes on sale eventually, because I will buy it definitely. And the cool thing is Sunset Overdrive was one of the free games on the Xbox Gold free games or whatever. So yeah, pretty cool to have that. So that's it for now, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this pickup video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.